Oh wait, we don't have the mics. Oh, this has gone poorly already. Oh no. Oh, this has gone poorly.
It's almost like you need him.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Heller. This has gone poorly.
This is evidence of how
Everything's going to plan, I swear. Yeah.
Hamid's in the bathrooms, and I didn't want to, so I just started it, and I caught in my emergency programmer, also known as James. So I'm just going to get right into it. Hello, and welcome to your weekly dose of mayhem, the only show where I don't have a bit.
Not even a little?
It doesn't work as well the second time around.
No, it really doesn't, no.
Uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.
Hi, James. Nate, you have some explaining to do. This is a great bit, by the way.
Thank you. That was my idea.
Oh. Okay.
I totally didn't forget.
Off the island, comment.
Here, Pope a third show.
Is that a BFDI reference?
I think I'm getting evicted soon.
I totally didn't forget to bring the mics over when we started the stream. Oh.
How's it going, everybody? Sorry, Nate, just gonna have you move a little bit. So, today, what are you doing?
I just wanted to start the show.
Okay.
Now that I've got two programmers here.
I mean, you got a script. You got a script that has a bit in it.
Yeah.
Or, well, it doesn't.
We did the bit. It's not even a little one. I mean, why not?
That clearly says my name, and I never remember saying that line.
Well, James said it for you.
Yeah. Look, pocket program.
So, am I him or is he me? Or
I mean, it seems like you're in the middle and James is over the Hamid sign.
so he's me and I'm him.
He's stuck in the
'Cause
middle
he's-
with you?
Because he's Hamid, and there's a James here, so that must be me. Because you're Nate.
Is he Nate?
Am I?
I just
I don't
processed
think
of
he
it.
is.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I could be Nate, and he could be James.
I mean, I am over the thing.
yeah. So if you're Nate and it says it right there, and you're Hamid and it says it right there, and there's a James here, that must be me. I think we've deduced.
Yeah. All right.
And now we can get started. Everything's sorted out, I think.
Yes. So, okay. Well, not well. You are above the sign that says weekly dose of mayhem.
True.
So I think you're weekly dose.
Am I the mayhem?
Or are you the weekly fed of this?
Hmm.
I mean, you do show up every week.
Maybe I'm the outlet guy. Maybe I'm the outlet guy. I mean, I do have the mic, and he's got a mic.
I don't have a mic.
If he's got the mic, then what do I have?
I mean, all I've got is the water bottle I, comically drink out of in the middle of sentences.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have a. Well, yeah, yours doesn't. Okay, but your name doesn't have a water bottle up there. But my thing has a mic, and this is. I'm confused.
Who's Mike?
Michael?
TARDIS?
Mike from TARDIS.
Hey.
Shout out Mike from TARDIS.
Shout out Mike Titus. Shout out my homies in Detroit. And let's get into it.
Shout out Henry David Thoreau, as always.
What I see on my little list here, it says FTC Autos.
Indeed, it does.
Why don't you talk about that?
Hello, James.
Hi.
You didn't work on that very much, but you did. You were there. So
I definitely was.
this is a programmer discussion now, and Nate's gonna feel very not included.
Oh, he's just.
He's observing from a distance. This is a scary action from a
Yeah,
distance.
code's scary too, Nate.
Yeah. So, in terms of autos, we now have autos. Pretty much, almost. So when we left off, we were in Penfield, and we had a Dead Reckoning auto that you assembled like the day of,
Yep.
because that was the only thing that we could muster.
Story is Otis time.
Yep.
But now,
Sadly.
we've got a little bit of a better thing going on. Thanks in part to the fact that the robot was not rebuilt completely, which is good. It's a good thing.
A story as Otis time, unfortunately.
Yeah, but, things happen. So we have started working on a new auto. We have a lot of good stuff in terms of like loops and like PID stuff for like getting the individual components of the robot to go where they need to be. But the big question was, how do we make those things happen like in sequence and concurrently, both at the same time? So the thing with the auto is that basically it runs a whole bunch of different portions of code in sequence. And the problem is sometimes we want to have the robot drive somewhere and, extend the arm or the elevator at the same time. And so the way that I originally thought that we were going to do that was using multi-threading, which is in Java, where the one Java process has multiple threads, and then each of those can run their own lines of code in sync. But I was informed that there might be some difficulty with getting multi-threading to work on the processor of the control hub. I'm still not sure if that's entirely true because opinions are mixed, but what we ended up doing was just using a single loop that blocks the that blocks the sequence, and inside of that loop, two different portions of code are basically run one after the other until both of them are finished. And so each one of those portions of code basically does what it needs to its respective subsystem, and then it reports out to the main loop. Is it running or is it finished? And if it's finished and the other one's finished and all of them are finished, then the code can move on to the next instruction or set of instructions. So it's pretty good in terms of how well it works. It worked pretty well without much hassle. So now the main thing that is left is just to make sure that all of our subsystems can go where they need to go quickly and effectively, which we're still working on because there's some issues with that, especially in the intake, I think, because I don't know if you saw, but the intake state code that basically moves the intake in and out, the intake slide in and out, is being weird, where when you try and move it, it goes out and it goes in and it goes out and it goes in, and it just does that in a loop. And I have no idea why, mostly because I didn't really program that part. Guest host of the show, I guess at this point, honorary host of the show, Brady Rowland did. Yeah, he's just here, so feels appropriate.
It is weird, that intake in and out thing, because I think that's also responsible for some of the mechanical issues we've had.
Yeah, it does not. It is not good that that's happening at the same time as all of the other issues with the intake, mostly being the screws getting looser. Why are you grabbing the keyboard?
Because I have something I want to show.
That's not the keyboard anymore. It's the other one.
This one?
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Oh, you just got the thing. Oh yeah, because you started without me, I didn't have time to set up my little phone thing, so I can do it from my phone. Don't you feel bad now?
No, it was really fine.
Okay, fair enough.
Speaking of intakes, however, roll clip.
Just straight from the Google Drive.
There's not a YouTube short of it. Now I'm gonna have to press the button.
What button? I believe it is. What is Zishin? We're playing Jeopardy.
We've got a new intake. Now, the more observant of you may be saying that, hey, that kind of looks like the Baku Redbacks intake. And you're right.
While you keep talking about this, I'm going to go set up the phone thing so that you don't have to keep walking over there.
So we have we've changed up our intake one more time, once again, because what is FTC if not the story of 1,000 intakes? And we have gone with the an intake heavily inspired by the Baku Redbacks. We like the simplicity and the versatility of it. Full 3D printed, even 3D printed gears, which are normally sketchy, but not necessarily this time. They're not under a lot of strain. We should probably print extra one of those gears. But we've got a Baku Redbacks intake. It's working beautifully. And then we have a second one on an arm for scoring in the basket. And we're still working on getting that handoff sorted out. There's a couple of mechanical constraints around that. But once we do that, we will be in good shape.
Zishin.
Thank you, Anthony Fantano. James, anything on the FTC front?
Not as much on the FTC front.
Why are the? I just noticed you pulled the.
I could talk about FRC, and also have to leave in 10 minutes to go and blow into a giant metal tube. So
What?
Banned.
Oh, banned.
Yeah.
Friday already?
Yeah, already.
That's like when we host the show.
Where'd Mr. Copen go?
I think he went downstairs. I think he did the
went
old.
We're downstairs, though.
yeah.
What?
Mr. Coben was over in the FLL area, like crouched behind the table, and I thought he was still there, but he's just not there anymore.
Maybe he just fell asleep. Maybe he's just lying there.
He's just he went through the trap door that I installed and set down there.
The trapdoor that opens when you open the fridge over there.
You really need to label that. Like, people keep
Yeah.
falling in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing from you, James, then
I'll do FRC.
okay, you can do FR. Yeah. Okay.
So, some fronts have been made on FRC. So first off, some of our newer programmers have been learning with the XRP bots.
Those use WhippyLip now, right?
Yeah, they use WhippyLib now. So,
Whippy.
yeah, it's like a direct evolution. And also, on vision fronts, we can detect bumpers now, and it's really cool. Whether it'll be implemented or not, I don't know, but we can do it. Do you have the short of that?
There's not a short uploaded of it uploaded yet. There will be a short of it uploaded probably tomorrow, maybe Sunday. There will be a short of that on our YouTube channel this weekend with a more detailed account in the build thread.
Yep. You've got some CAD on your screen.
Well, anything else in programming, because
We've also been messing around with Path Planner. Austin has been figuring that out, and I mean, it works. It definitely plans a path.
Indeed. Are you guys still using a Choreo or like playing with that at all?
I think we're still playing with it. I don't think we used it on this run through.
what is Choreo? I don't know what that is.
I believe it's like a swerve drive, like path optimizer. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it is similar to Path Planner. It just lets you create waypoints for your drivetrain, and then it just makes a smooth path in between them. Pretty cool.
That's pretty neato.
Okay.
Tran.
Oh my god. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna let you have.
Vision, and we are into the CAD zone. We have changed a lot mechanically about the robot. We were struggling for a very, very long time on the off the ground intake front, and the geometry of that just wasn't working because here, let me show you. The geometry of that just wasn't working without it having to take up kind of by necessity the entire robot. So this was kind of where we were at on the ground intake front, and in its back form, it would kind of be, it wouldn't be that far into the robot, but you would need to get the end effector, which would push the elevator back another 7 inches, and that's basically got the elevator at the back of the robot, which was something we didn't want to do. We did not, in fact, want to commit the entire robot to an intake, into a ground intake, which we didn't even think we would use that much. And with the, once we figured out that there was a better geometry for human player intake, or the cramp as we were calling it, we were like, well, we could get the elevator pretty far forward in the robot as long as we don't do a ground intake. I think this is the geometry for the most recent version of the human player intake, I believe. But it's using mecanum wheels, which are sprung down to kind of orient the core, and then orient it into a way where end effector can pick it up right off the elevator for scoring. And that, along with that, can get the elevator just right over, not in the middle, but kind of more forward in the robot, like just over the middle of, or just forward of middle in the robot. This is the belly pan, these two lines right here where the elevator is going to be sitting. So just a little bit forward. We also worked extensively last night on converting our two front modules into the Mark IV Narrows, because we originally wanted wider room for the intake. They are now staying, we're still keeping that much wider space they give us. So we have enough room for the new human player intake, and then also off the structure that holds up the human player intake, we hope to do a fairly simple algae intake, kind of mechanical advantage style, just picking the algae up off the ground, and instead of putting it in the robot, just holding it between a set of rollers and the bumper. so that we can outtake that into the processor real nice and simple. So that's where we are at the CAD front. As Hamid said earlier, we have Corning in 8 days. You said that earlier, right?
No.
We
I
have-
would have if I was here for when you started. Nate.
What? Oh yeah, well James is here, so.
Backup programmer.
Anyway, we have Corning's an 8 day, but CAD deadline for FRC is on February 3rd, so 3 days away. And after we ditched that, no,
I have to go evict myself or something.
he's got to go to the band.
Austin.
Austin. Backup emergency. Backup program.
Alright, don't worry, we got more programmers.
Josh, pull up a chair.
Oh my God.
It's like the cinematic universe of FRC.
We're gonna need more mics.
Are we gonna? Oh, here, you two.
Well, we're gonna need you to untangle the.
That does not look good.
There it goes.
This hurts me in
It's
many
fine.
ways.
CAD deadline for FRC is in 3 days, and yeah, I think after we ditch the ground intake, we are in a much better shape for meeting that deadline. Next steps on the CAD is figuring out how to drive the elevator. We're not using the WCP gearbox that you have to buy separately from the elevator. We're gonna make our own, so that we can get more precise with it. So that's the next steps on CAD. We also have to do the A-frame for holding up said elevator, and all the electronics. All fairly small tasks. I think those will all come together quick. And then still mounting the new HP intake. That's still got to happen. And then getting the core intake off that. And Josh, you want to talk briefly about what you've been working on the past day in CAD?
Have we talked about programming?
Yes, we have.
I don't know balls, so yeah. Except we've been doing climbers.
What type of climber? Yeah, what type of climber?
Yeah, what type? Every bot climb?
Yeah.
The heavy bot climb.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, Josh has been working on that. Josh, freshman CADing extraordinaire himself, working on. We're gonna do a climb similar to the every bot climb, and that'll be fun. My computer's about to die. That's fun.
Wait, doesn't their climb only work
Dude,
with a deep kit?
You can't keep showing the script, okay? We have to make sure that everybody knows that we're unscripted.
This show is unscripted.
Are you gonna have like one of those like Men in Black devices?
Oh, never mind. It didn't show. It didn't show.
You won't remember this.
Yeah.
No, come
You have to hold. There we go.
Hold on, get the sunglasses. Oh, I don't have sunglasses.
on. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at on the FSC front. Also on the FSC front, we participated in a little outreach event, and 3 of the 4 of us were there. Hamid being the odd one out who didn't go. We went to
Josh.
we went to East Side Stewards. Austin, how about you give us a little bit of what do we do? What do we do?
So we built garden planters, and then we also planted some small plants, right, Nate?
Yes.
And those, and then we proceeded to carry those garden planters, like 4 blocks to
A pack.
a park that was covered in snow. It was a lot of fun, but some of us were sore. Some of us got covered in snow. Some of
us got buried in snow.
and a lot of us got injured.
Yeah, so we built those planters, and then we're helping them get some seeds ready in their growth space. East Side Stewards being an organization which is making Buffalo's east side, trying to get more green spaces out on Buffalo's east side. Very cool organization. We built 4 planters. 4 planters, I think.
Planters, yeah.
With us, there was 3 already built. And then we built those.
There's 2
two
already,
already built. And
one
then
of them we had to fix.
Yeah, and one of them we
built
had to
2 more.
rebuild. And then we built 4 planters, which we then had to carry like 4 blocks. And it would have been a much easier carry if there wasn't a school in the way. So we had to actually carry it more like 6 blocks to a pack.
And these planters, so even though we are robotics, those planters were like 300 pounds apiece.
Yeah, you need, like there was 8 people there, and you
We
could
were
only
still
really carry
struggling.
it with 8 people.
It would help if
Through
Nate,
the snow.
It would help if Nate actually carried sometimes, though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Supervised.
And then, so we carried one of those before realizing, oh wait, these actually fit in the back of Mr. Coburn's
we
van.
carried one of them, and then we carried one half the
And
way.
carried the other one halfway before we were like, wait, this actually fits in Mr. Coburn's van.
Only 3 of them though. And we already
rebuild
moved
the other 2.
And we moved the one and the one half that we moved already were 2 of the ones that fit in the thing.
So after we carried the first one, they left me, Mr. Hiller, Josh, and Nate J. At the park under the assumption that the rest of the planters were going to be delivered by car, and we were supposed to be there to get them out of the car and put them in the park. And then that ended up becoming us sitting around in a snowy park for about an hour and a half while they were rebuilding the other 2 planters.
No. You sat around in the park for an hour, for like 10 minutes, and then I showed up.
And then Austin showed up, and no one told us that they had to rebuild some of the planters because they were too big for Mr. Coburn's car.
Well, we were told that there was a trailer coming, and a trailer didn't come, so I was sitting more as help to move the stuff.
And then Josh buried me in snow, and that was cold.
Multiple times.
Multiple times, in fact.
And we got some pretty funny videos.
What?
That was after the great tackling of 25.
This is now the second year in order where in Impact presentation it will involve someone
Getting
nearly
buried.
freezing to death in snow. The second year, I'm not sure many other robotics teams.
Nate,
can claim that.
how do you feel about that you're the second you followed in Yamato's footsteps? So
I think this is great. I think this is a good trend we're setting. I think snow-based impacts, snow-based outreach is a prime form
we should
of
do more
impact.
snow-based outreach.
I think
we should
gotta
go
keep the
shovel
trend
every
going.
driveway in Buffalo.
That seems sad. A lot of driveways in this town.
There is a lot of driveways.
Anyway, that was East Side Stewards. Hamid, you weren't there. What did you do?
This one is clearly the servo, right? This one's been hacked already. Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah.
On that Sunday?
Yeah.
Can I reclaim my throne first?
Yes.
Austin, you gotta go.
Oh yeah.
Fully reclaim.
Here, Brady, pull up a chair. You too.
Yeah.
Pull up a chair.
Yeah, you're on the podcast.
Honorary host Brady is back.
I got an email. Oh, okay.
Morgan, you want to pull up a chair too? We're getting everyone in.
This has quickly devolved.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is
No,
evolved.
I think this is.
Hold on. We gotta scooch more this way. I gotta get Brady.
Sure.
Yeah.
Gotta get Brady in. Yeah.
I think this has become. I think this is what the show was meant to be.
We are getting more people involved. We are hitting our vision.
We're hitting our visions.
This is very good.
Mr. Coburn,
Mr. Coburn's here. as
Mr.
well.
Coburn's here. Hi, Mr. Coburn. How's your day going?
It's going great.
Just got a tooth replaced.
Yeah, here.
That's not true at all.
Hello, Mr. Coburn.
Hello.
Why does he sound like that?
Because I do. You got a problem with it?
That's
No,
not.
boy.
Who are you and what'd you do with Mr. Coburn?
You'll never know. Okay, anyways. Go back to your...
I'm not sure.
I don't know. That was the end of the script. I'm not.
Wait. What do you talk about FRC programming wise?
We talked
Do I have
about.
to watch it again?
we-
Figure
Yeah,
it out.
I'm gonna have to watch it, find out.
Have to watch it, find out. All right.
Talked about like bumper detection
And-
like vision stuff
Okay.
and XRP stuff, which like yeah.
All right.
Everything that's been happening.
To end off the show, I want to go down the line, and I want you all to give us the best piece of advice you have, starting with Josh.
Okay.
Starting with the freshman.
Josh, what is your wise piece of advice for us?
Advice.
Your best piece of advice.
Speak into the microphone.
My advice is advice.
Advice.
Yeah, I did.
Bars.
I agree.
Like actual advice, or are we being silly?
It's up to you.
Okay. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't join the robotics team just because you're bad at like bang 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 STEM. You can do other things
Real.
like make a puppet.
What's Mr. Coburn? What's your best piece of advice?
Vector dance.
Vector dance.
Speed up, slow down, tip to tail, beginning to end.
Yeah.
All right. Brady, pass the mic over there.
Yeah.
Third youngest. Comic Sans is a good font because it's hard to read.
Because it's hard to read?
Hard to read.
You learn more.
It is easy. It is definitively easy to read.
Actually one of the hardest fonts to read.
Really?
Yeah, but that makes it easier to understand.
I think you're gonna need to back that up with a source.
I can't cite a source actually.
Okay.
I'll put it. It'll be in the description.
No, it won't. No, it won't. I already set the description and it's empty.
Send it to me. I'll edit it later. Don't worry. Really.
Okay.
Austin, what's your best piece of
All
advice?
right. I could quote some people right now. I've got a lot of quotes. I think I'll hit him with Mr. Kitty quote: "Steal first, steal often."
That was a Nate quote.
Nope, that was a
Kitty
kitty quote primarily.
Isn't that stolen?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah. I was just making sure I had my history right. My piece of advice is that you should always trust yourself,
Thyself.
trust thyself, and you should ask for forgiveness rather than asking for permission. Not in every case, but you should do that. Don't hesitate, because you have a certain amount of time, and you should use that well.
That means join the Bed Wars game later tonight.
Real, true.
Run fast, break stuff.
Run fast, break stuff, have a good time.
My best piece of advice is in the same vein as Austin's, and it's also stolen, and it's steal from the best, invent the rest. Ironically, coming from one of the best FLC teams in the world, Citrus Circuits. So not really sure why they came up with that. It
Well,
doesn't
it's
really
'cause
apply to them.
Well-
I do a lot of stealing from them, so...
Well, yeah, they're advertising. See, they're saying steal from us. They're very generous.
They're very generous.
Good job, guys.
Join the FTC Open Alliance. We're gearing up for a great Phase 2 next year.
We're gonna have website load faster.
2025. We got a little bit of time before 2026.
Get in on the FTC Open Alliance this year. It's a movement. I guess, I don't know. I've gone all Silicon Valley Tech Bro. Good night, everybody!
And that's the joke.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Josh, say it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Why do you say good morning? Nuh-uh.
It's the best.
That's the joke.